Hey everybody, and welcome to another model building workshop. Today we're going to be talking about car models in 1/32nd scale. These are Japanese cars. As you can see, this is a 61 Toyota Publica, and these kits were, well, built by, in this case, ARII, and the older versions, I guess the original version was from LS models. I believe now they're being put out by a company known as Micro Ace, which is kind of holding on to the ARII line. So these models have seen a few changes of ownership, shall we say, of who's putting them out, and with different box art and a few different features. So this is the Toyota Publica. This is the ARII packaging of it. So it's 1/32nd scale, fairly low parts count, and they have rubber tires, as you can see here. This is the ARII model, which tends to be, a lot of the ARII tends to keep it simple. This is all in white here, with minimal decals there, a couple of license plates, dashboard, things like that. And let's look at the instruction sheet. The instructions are a little crammed in there. Might be a good idea to Xerox these, or make a bigger photocopy picture so you can take a better look at that. But what's nice is on this side is you have a little catalog here that shows a lot of their line of 32nd scale vehicles. So that's handy, so you can see a nice list. So I picked these up at a hobby shop in nearby Massachusetts at a really good price. These aren't the easiest things to find around here. Sometimes you can find them at a show. But I discovered these originally by looking online for some models for the model building club here at the Smith Hill Library here in Providence. And I found a bunch of them that way. I was getting them through some various online overseas companies like HLJ, which is HobbyLink Japan, HLJ.com. I was using them. The shipping costs seem to have gone up since the COVID pandemic for, well, obvious reasons. But they used to be a really cheap deal, good deal. And maybe they are now. I haven't looked at them for a while, but you could get these like $6 a pop US. Pretty good. Shipping was, the issue, but at the time, a couple of years ago, shipping wasn't really a big deal. It just takes a while to get over here by ship, but you'd get a stack of these things cheap if you did it that way. In this case, these I picked up at a shop locally for pretty much the same price. So this is the LS boxing of it, and there are a few differences. A little older, so the plastics will kind of get a yellow tone to it. But the main difference with the older LS versions is that, you see that? There's a little motor in there. It's one of those push motors. You pull the car back and let it go and it zooms. And it's going to be fun to see how those work, because I haven't tried these out this way. I haven't picked up an older LS version that had that little push motor, so I'm curious to see how that's going to work, because it gives you a little tube of glue, and I don't know if that's going to be effective at this date, because I don't really know what year these were put out, although the box and everything looks quite nice and in good condition, so it may not be as old as I think it is. It's deceiving, though. You never really know. The instruction sheet is a little bit better. It's blown up a bit because they're not trying to put the catalog on the other side, so the pictures are slightly bigger. So I'm going to try these out with the youth at the library when we resume the in-person outdoor programming. So we're going to try that this summer, so I'm looking forward to seeing how these work out. We did do some in the past with varied results. My father and I had tried these out a few years ago, and we had a good time building some of these, although we did learn some of the pros and cons of these kits. And one thing that was handy was my dad is a very experienced model builder, and recently in his later years, he had developed Parkinson's disease, unfortunately. But, and he was building models at that point. He always built models, but it was a good therapy for him, hand-eye coordination, with having Parkinson's disease. It was good to keep those motor skills working well. And he would be able to point out, what was working and what wasn't, so he was basically telling me, if I'm having an issue with this, a kid's probably gonna have an issue with this as well. So we learned a lot. We had a lot of fun doing these. And we did figure out, okay, watch this part, help a kid with that. So very informative. So then we get the Toyota Sports 800, really fun 60s sports car. So this is I got two LS versions, and there's slight differences with these. So, which this is nice because this makes it a lot easier for kids if they want. It makes the painting less daunting because you've got a kind of a cream-colored car with a red interior. You get the rubber tires, and it even comes with chrome parts. So now painting really isn't necessary because you have the colors already there, so you can make yourself a nice model with minimal work. Now, as far as the painting is concerned, because painting tends to be, some kids like it, some kids don't. Some kids that do paint tend to go paint crazy. That happens, because they like the art of painting, and sometimes it's difficult to tell them, okay, you're good, stop. But any parent probably knows, been through that. This is the same kit, but this is put out, and this is also LS. All right, just a slightly different variant. I'm noticing this is kit number 51. The other was kit number 50. So I don't know if there's any other changes to these kits other than the color. Now you get a red car with a black interior, and again the chrome pieces, which is stapled into the box. And it's got decals with a dashboard and some racing emblems there. Optional, of course, but that's another thing you can do with these, depending on how you want to work them. Lots of possibilities. So that's the Toyota 800. Then we get into some other things like this one here. This is a Subaru 360, and I had built one of these, and I'll show you that later. I believe this is from 1958, although I can't understand any of the writing on the instruction sheet. It's all in Japanese. Well, there's a little bit in English, but not much. Slightly different instruction sheet here. It's a fold-out design. This one's got the little push motor in there. So you can see how that works. That's a very small, this is a small car. It's fun, kind of reminiscent of the Volkswagen Beetle. And in fact, the fun decal sheet has some racing decals and a ladybug emblem you could put on there, which I think would be great fun. So that's the Subaru. I did a police car version. I'll show you that in a bit. So that's the fun Subaru. And then we have Hino 1300 Coupe, or Coupe Contessa. I don't know what date that is. I'm assuming that's from like the early to mid 60s, I'm guessing. There's nothing on here that I can really... Oh, wait. 1963. It's about the only thing in here that I can make out. So it's 1963. There you go. This is a regular size sedan. All right, not a bad size. And a good red plastic color. The red's very nice here. It's got a good shine to it. It's good looking. I like it. And then you get a white interior. Now, something to keep in mind if you're building these cars, is that these are Japanese cars. So the steering wheel is on the left side, is on the right side, not on the left side like they would be in the United States. So they're driving on the opposite side of the road than we are, like Britain, Australia, etc. So when you're building it, they'll go, hey, what's going on here? This is wrong. Well, not if you're driving there, it isn't. So instructions are a little bit better here. Again, there's no catalog with this one, so you have, the blow-up pictures a little clearer. One drawback with these kits is that all the painting instructions they're just numbered, and the numbers for Gunzi Sangyo paint. So you may have to, well, unless you read Japanese, you'll have to go online and just look up Gunzi Sangyo paint chart. That's Gunzi is G-U-N-Z-E, and then Sangyo is S-A-N-G-Y-O. Try Gunzi Sangyo paint chart. You should find one, and it will give you the breakdown of what those numbers are. Like, for example, I think 8 is silver. 1, I think, is either black. I think it's black or white. It's not always intuitive, so they may need to look that up. Because I mentioned it's color 90 and color 92. No idea what those would be. 12. So, of course, you can pretty much guess what it would be there. Although this car is a kind of a cream color, and the one they give you is red. But hey, have fun, figure it out, right? I'm not too worried about that for the kids. I think they're gonna have a good time with that, regardless, because they're just fun, neat little models. And then we move on to something we all are familiar with, the Porsche 911. So, which is a bigger car than I thought when you think about it. That's again in this cream-ish colored plastic, which may or may not be faded white. And it has chrome parts. It's got some decals for license plates, dashboard emblems. There's a big Porsche emblem, which you might be able to put on there somewhere. They don't really tell you where these decals actually go. They kind of leave that up to you. And there's the tires, and some of these come with a little tiny glue tube. As to if that glue is still going to be useful at this date, I don't know. I remember as a kid, I used to get models from, I guess probably this company, or Bandai or something like that back in the 70s, and you'd have these little glue tubes. You had to put a pin through it to activate it. Pretty much a one-use deal. You use it the one day you're building it, and then throw it away. But it was handy. But that was back when it was new, so I don't know how well that glue is going to hold up now. Let's get that out of the way. I mentioned the Volkswagen earlier. Here's one as a police car. Love the artwork. These are just funny. I really wonder how well that worked as a police car. I can't picture this thing chasing after the Porsche 911 in a high-speed chase. I don't think that's going to work very well. Even though, theoretically, both of these cars, the Volkswagen Beetle was originally made by Porsche. So there is a brother-sister sort of relationship with these cars, but I just don't know if that's going to keep up, Will be fun to watch. Although if you've seen the Herbie Lovebug movies, maybe, who knows, maybe it can. Then we get into these fun little tricycle delivery vehicles. So this is the Daihatsu Midget. Not sure what year this is from. Probably 58. This one here, it says 58, so I'm guessing that time period. So these little delivery vans, again, check out the fun artwork. Look at the cat chasing the crab there. So we spent time, making some fun paintings for these. So instructions aren't too bad to look at here. My concern with this one would be trying to get this front wheel assembly together, because I believe you pop that in without the glue, and I guess it's going to turn. Has a slightly different motor design. Again, that little push-pull motor. So like I said, I'm really curious to see how those work and if the kids enjoy that or not. One challenge I'll have with the model building workshop once we begin to get the kids back in here and we start working on this stuff is trying to decide or figure out who's going to get the ones with the push motors and who's not. That could be a challenge. I'm not sure why they stopped making it with the motor. It's, maybe when LS was bought out by ARII, there was a decision to stop it. Maybe, because I've noticed this with other model companies, maybe they found that most people building the models were like model builders that were looking for a more serious model kit and didn't want the play toy aspect, so that could be part of the reason. Not sure, but in any case, it didn't seem like the motor was a long-lived feature. So let's take a look at this one here. So here's the delivery vehicle. Looks like it's got the boxes in the back, which you're gonna have fun with. It has an optional canvas top you could put on there. It has a good assortment of decals. Although, I don't read Japanese, so I'm not really sure what these companies are. The one's got a fish on it, so it's probably some sort of seafood company, be my guess. And they don't really give you an idea on the decal or the decal placement at all on the instruction sheet. They leave that up to you. You get some idea from the box. You can see there's some stuff on the back there, but I think that's entirely up to you to figure out. Yeah. But I don't know how you find out what it says. Find a Japanese student, I guess, or someone that reads the language. And another one here, this is the 58 Mazda K360, as you can see there. So there's another one. I don't know what this artwork is depicting. I don't know if these are kids play fighting or what going on in the background. It looks like there's a little kid running around with a gun over here. I don't know. If anybody has any ideas what's going on in that picture, want to send a comment, go right ahead. If you could say where you're from, that would help, because it's been interesting, because since we're in Providence, Rhode Island, with the Providence Community Library in the USA here, it's been fun getting responses from you guys that are out in Canada, Great Britain, and all over the place. So really appreciate you guys watching from those distances. So if you can pop a comment and just let me know, hey, viewed you from such and such, that'd be really cool. Of course, up to you guys, but it would be fun to know. And as you can see here, this is similar design, no boxes in the back. I guess you can put whatever you want in there. There's no canvas top on this one. Again, fairly minimal parts. And there's a few decals on this one. This is, not much there for this one. This is the later ARII boxing. I believe Microwaste is pretty much doing the same thing. I don't think they've really changed the instructions around too much. But this has got, again, that selling feature here. There's the catalog, which I do like the catalog. It's kind of nice to know what was out there. Because I found these online. I didn't see this at first. I just stumbled on these on the HLJ website and just went, wow, look at all this stuff. Because mainly I was looking for something affordable for this model building program, because we tend to rely on donations, gifts, and we have a very limited budget. So when I found, car models with $6 each, yeah, of course I'm going to look, because that fits within our budget, because our budget's, not that great, especially if you think about, say you need to get model kits for like 6 to 8 kids in a program, and you want to keep the theme similar, or you like to get everything the same so there's no fighting between kids. Well, I want to build that one, but we only have one of those. So it's nice to be able to get things to work with, at a price we can afford, and a level of complexity it's not too over the top, because it's kind of a walk-in program, and we get kids between 7 to say 16, so you never know what the skill level is going to be. And again, all right, so that's those two. Okay, so let me show you what some of the finished models that we've done look like. So give me a second here, and I'll get some of those out. All right, we're going to go into intermission. So hold on a moment. Okay, we're back. Hope you enjoyed the intermission. So here's a Volkswagen that we did in the model building workshop here at the library, and we had a teen working on this. The Volkswagen's a lot bigger than I expected it to be. I just always thought these Beetles were tiny. Riding in the back of these things, I always thought they were, even as a kid. My neighbors had one of these and used to go around with them, and I'm just surprised it's a lot bigger than I expected. That's Subaru that we looked at. In fact, here's the Subaru. This is the police car version, and can you imagine, Imagine how small that is, and if you were like arrested and thrown in the back of that car, I thought it was cramped in this. Imagine what it'd be like being cramped in that. So mine got a little dented up when I built this thing, but it's okay. I just made it look like an old beat-up police car. I had some issues trying to get this paint job's a little interesting. We're used to the police cars with the black and white, but the doors would be a different color and the hood would be a different color. It wasn't striped like this with the V on the front, so that's kind of fun, but it's a little more challenging to paint. So, but that's what the Subaru looks like if you did it this version, Looking forward to seeing the one with the ladybug and the race numbers on it. Again, here's the Beetle. And another one I have here, which I thought was just too fun not to do. This delivery, I believe this is I think this is a Honda Mira van. This is an 80s delivery van. Oops, looks like I've got an issue here. That's the decal having a problem on the back, license plate. Yeah, 'cause this is a decal that you really need to have a lot of decal setting solution to make this fun seafood logo work. So that's an 80s delivery van. Box on wheels. So yeah, these are fun to do, Looking forward to working on it with the kids, and hopefully soon, since we're heading into the summer of 2021 as I'm recording this. Hoping to do this as a summer program outside in our parking lot, and we'll see how it goes. So anyway, thanks for watching. Try some of these kits out; they're fun, and we'll talk to you guys real soon. All right, bye now.